It's a new week in GTA Online, and in today's video, I'll be showing you the best ways to make money, how to get 4 cars for completely free, all of the removed vehicles that have returned for a limited time, and all of the limited time discounts that you should take advantage of. Let's get started. For the best ways to make money this week, we have the Salvage Yard, which has multiple great bonuses. First, we have the Salvage Yard tow truck missions, which are on both 2 times money and 2 times salvage speed this week. These are the missions where you use your tow truck to go out and collect cars to turn them into parts for money. Usually these missions pay out between $30,000 to $40,000, with a 48-minute delay if you have the staff upgrade, or 96 minutes without. But this week, you can earn between $60,000 to $80,000 per mission, with only a 24 or 48-minute delay. When doing the tow truck missions, if you have to collect a car that's more than 2 miles away, I'd recommend just blowing up the tow truck or swapping session to start a new one. Also, if you ever get the police on you, remember that you can just blow yourself up to instantly remove your wanted level. Next, the Salvage Yard passive safe is also on 2 times money this week, or 4 times money for GTA Plus members. Usually the safe generates a maximum of $24,000 every 48 minutes, but this week that'll be $48,000 every 48 minutes, or $96,000 if you have GTA Plus. To make sure that you're earning the maximum amount of passive income from your safe, be sure to do at least 1 tow truck mission every 96 minutes. This is because the Salvage Yard has a hidden popularity bar similar to the nightclub, and doing tow truck missions fills the bar up. And finally, still sticking with the Salvage Yard, we have the weekly challenge, which is to complete 2 Salvage Yard robberies for $100,000. Now surprisingly, there are actually 2 claimable vehicles from the Salvage Yard this week, and we'll get onto those shortly. So you'll definitely want to do 2 Salvage Yard robberies anyway, and the weekly challenge is just a nice bonus on top. Just like every week, the regular and HSW time trials are a great way to make a quick 350k. The regular time trial is coast to coast, and what you want to do is place a waypoint, but don't follow it through the canyon. Instead, what you want to do is go through Palito Bay, as it's a much easier drive and you'll still make it to the finish line with plenty of time. I recommend the Hakuchou drag here as it's good for dodging traffic, but any fast car should do. The HSW time trial is Pacific Bluffs to Mount Gordo, and what you want to do is place a waypoint and follow it through the top of the city until you get to the highway, and then follow it the rest of the way to the finish line. Again, I recommend the Hakuchou drag for dodging traffic, but any HSW vehicle should be fine. As always, your regular big money makers remain the same. For your passive money methods, make sure you're sending out your warehouse technicians and bail agents as often as possible, maintain your income from your safes, and keep on top of your passive businesses like the acid lab and bunker. For your active money methods, keep farming your Kaya Precos and your hanger crates. For your free vehicles this week, at the LS car meet, the prize ride vehicle this week is the Yanis Remus. This car usually goes for just under $1.4 million, or just over $1 million with the trade price on Southern San Andreas Super Autos, but this week you can get it for free by finishing top 5 in an LS car meet series race for 3 days in a row, and I'll show you how to do that now. So first, I recommend joining a public session if you haven't already, and then what you want to do is run over to the race organizer over here and select one of the 4 following race series. You'll either be put into a race as a host or join someone else's race. Considering you only have to place top 5 this week, I'd recommend joining a drag race, as regardless of how many players there are, you'll always make progress towards the prize ride challenge. Alright, I'm in a drag race with 3 other people, let's see how I do. Alright, and there we go, 2nd place. Not too bad, but it doesn't matter what place you finish this week, because you'll always make progress towards the prize ride challenge. Here we are back at the LS car meet, and as you can see, I've made progress towards the prize ride challenge. All I've got to do is finish top 5 in an LS car meet series race for 2 more days, and I'll be up to get the Yanis Remus for free. Now the Remus definitely isn't a top performing or must own sports car, but it is also in the tuners category, and it can be upgraded with both drift tuning and an Armani Tech missile lock on jammer. At the Diamond Casino, the lucky wheel vehicle this week is the Bugatti Reaper. This car usually goes for just under 1.6 million on Legendary Motorsport, but with a bit of luck, you can win it for free this week. Let's spin the wheel, see if I get lucky. Damn, clothing again, what a surprise. Now I already owned a Reaper, and it's definitely a nice looking car. It is one of the OG supercars that came out years ago, so sadly it's not a high performer or must own. But if you want it for the looks, just make sure to come to the casino every 24 hours to spin the wheel. At the Salvage Yard, we have 2 claimable vehicles this week, which is absolutely unheard of. First, we have the Fist the Comet S2 Cabrio, which usually goes for just under 1.8 million on Legendary Motorsport, but this week you can claim it for basically free by completing the Podium robbery. And finally, we have the Lampadati Tygon, which usually goes for just over 2.3 million on Legendary Motorsport, but this week you can claim it for basically free by completing the Gangbanger robbery. Now I've already completed both robberies this week, and I have both cars ready to be claimed. Sadly, neither of them are top performing or must own vehicles, however both can be upgraded with an Armani Tech missile lock on jammer. If you're finding the video useful and want to keep up with the weekly updates every week, consider consider leaving a like and subscribe if you're new. It massively helps to support the channel, and I'll know to keep making these videos. For your removed vehicles this week, at Simeon's, you can get the Vapid Blade for $160,000, the Canis Seminole Frontier for $699,660, the Vapid Riata for $402,800, the Vapid Retinu for $644,580, and the LCC Avarice for $134,240. None of these vehicles are high performers or must-buys, so unless you want them for the looks or you're collecting removed vehicles, you can give these ones a miss this week. At the LS Car Meet, we have the Dubachi 770 for $695,000, the Grotti GT 500 for $785,000, and the Dundreary Land Stalker XL for $1,220,000. Again, none of these are high performing or must-buy vehicles, so unless you like the look of them or you're collecting removed vehicles, you can give these ones a miss this week. For your discounts this week, for 40% off, you can get any salvage yard, including upgrades and modifications. For 30% off, you can get the Nagasaki Buzzard Attack Chopper, the Buckingham Milljet, the Fister Astron, the Bugatti Tempesta, the Joe-built Phantom Custom, the Dinka Sugoi, the Declasse Mamba, and the Lampadati Novak. If you don't own one already, definitely be sure to grab a salvage yard and all of the upgrades this week, as it's one of the best businesses in the game, so definitely worth it. If you don't have an MOC already, definitely be sure to grab one this week with the Phantom Custom being on discount. The Buzzard is definitely worth picking up this week. Even though it is outdated by the Sparrow, it's still a very good helicopter to own, and you can request it from the CEO menu. The Astron and the Novak might be worth picking up this week, as they're both in the top 10 best performing SUVs in the game. The Tempesta might also be worth picking up this week. While it's not a high performing or must buy supercar, it still has great handling and looks nice. The Sugoi and the Mamba probably aren't worth buying this week, as they're not high performing or must buy cars, and for the love of God, do not buy the Buckingham Milljet. At the gun van, for your weapons, you can get the RPG, the heavy sniper, the railgun, which is 40% off for all players, the upper atomizer, which is 30% off for GTA Plus members, the musket, and the pipe wrench. For your throwables, you can get grenades, pipe bombs, and sticky bombs. And of course, all of the body armor is available to buy as well. Let me know in the comments what you're getting up to this week in GTA Online, whether that's grinding some of the content bonuses or buying some discounted vehicles. And while you're at it, why don't you check out the rest of my channel? If you want a quick rundown of everything that's happening this week, click on the video on your screen now. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.